Aaron Rodgers has turned back the clock, and he's defying Father Time. Now, why would the Steelers want him back, though? He's 40 plus years old. I'm going to give you my reason why. We're going to talk about it. So, according to Jeremy Fowler, he put out the report today that the Steelers are interested in bringing back Aaron Rodgers next year for year 2. And he looks good. He's looked good. He looks like his mobility is getting better and better, which is weird. I mean, against Cincinnati, he was all over the place. He had a rollout where he went left, then he came back to the other side, the right side of the field, and then threw a bomb down the field and was on the money. So I can understand why the Pittsburgh Steelers are intrigued with Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers likes it in Pittsburgh. And I think he signed for only like $13 million, and he got a lot of incentives to get it up to about $20 million this year. Which the way it's going, he's going to break all of that. So I'm thinking he goes into year 2 if they work things out, and he's going to want a little bit more money than that. But the real reason why the Steelers are interested in bringing Aaron Rodgers back is because of Mike Tomlin. And let me explain. Mike Tomlin does not want to develop. I don't think he even likes developing young players, period. He wants them to be ready to go, as you can tell by the roster that he's put together on both sides of the ball. This Pittsburgh Steelers team is a pretty old team. You know, you got Cam Hayward, that's like 36, 37. Aaron Rodgers is 42. Even the trade that they just made the offseason with Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is like 31 at this point now. Darius Slay is 34. You kind of get where I'm going. So this is an older team. And it seems like Mike Tomlin does not want to hit the reset button. And we have all the proof. Instead of letting Kenny Pickett get his legs under him, putting the right development around him, he wanted to go get Mitch Trubisky. You know, he wants these ready-made guys that are ready to go on the ground running. And listen, I sort of get it, but on the other end, it's like, is Mike Tomlin just tired of, what's the word I'm looking for? He just doesn't want to do any projects. And I think as a head coach that's been doing it as long as Mike Tomlin has, I think this is, 20th year at this point? He doesn't want to do any type of rebuilds. And let's be honest, this team is in a rebuild mode, to be totally honest. Again, these guys are aging veterans. I forgot about TJ Watt. TJ Watt is like 31 years old. So these guys, this is an older bunch. And now he wants to have a quarterback that's 42 years old because he does not want to develop a young guy. Now, did they draft Will Howard last year? Yes. Well, not last year. I'll say just this past NFL draft. Yes, they did. But they don't want him to see the field anytime soon. And this quarterback draft, whether you're a big fan of it or not, it's a lot of potential in this draft. And the Pittsburgh Steelers still need to be looking at getting their guy for the future and letting him and Will Howard battle it out. And, you see what you got, because Aaron Rodgers is not going to be able to keep this going for that much longer. I don't feel like he's going to do the Tom Brady and still play at a high level at 45, 46 years old. Granted, I don't know what fountain of youth he hit, or, the ayahuasca, whatever it's called, because he looks good. Like I said, he looks like he has a pep in his step. But the Pittsburgh Steelers ultimately have to look at future-proofing this team. And like I said, I understand keeping Aaron Rodgers for another year. It makes sense. But if this team can't fix all these other flaws that it has, especially on this defensive side of the ball, especially not having a real good running game at this point to support Aaron Rodgers, and this young offensive line that the Pittsburgh Steelers has, this is going to be all for nothing. So Mike Tomlin at this point now has to figure out, can I adapt and get my defense up to snuff? Because this defense, Salary is like $170 million. Aaron Rodgers is giving you the best of Aaron Rodgers. And last week, you lost to the Cincinnati Bengals with Chase Brown, who was averaging almost 10 yards a carry. So it's great that Aaron Rodgers is doing all these great things. He's spinning the ball. I mean, he's moving around. He looks like he dialed back the clock about 5 years. But Mike Tomlin, if you're not doing your job and getting that defense ready, what's the point of bringing him back for another year? Again, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are stuck in a holding place. They're stuck in mediocrity for the most part. The wheels just keep spinning. They on that treadmill. And they're not going to be bad, but they're not going to be great. So they have to figure out who they are, what they want to do, because this team is getting long in the tooth at this point. And you're bringing Aaron Rodgers back, but you're not putting everything around Aaron Rodgers to make this a Super Bowl contender. And at this point now, if Aaron Rodgers isn't just playing just to play, probably want to get another one of those rings. And this team right now, as it's constructed, the way it's played, this is not a Super Bowl contending team. So this really squarely falls on Mike Tomlin. And by these press conferences, his ego is still all over the place, and it's heavy in the room. So they have to figure out what they're going to do, because me personally, if they can't make a deep run this year, it's time to do a reset, even if Aaron Rodgers wants to be there or not. You can't keep going this way because it's not going to work. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I thought I would touch on this. Mike Tomlin has some decisions to make. You can't go into year 21 doing the same thing with a quarterback that's 42 years old and playing at almost at the MVP level at this point. So he hasn't been in this situation in a while, and he's going to have to make some changes. Or it might have to be some serious talks this offseason. Again, let me know in the comments below. To the next video. Peace.